Thank you so much, Kenny, and thanks to all of our senior class officers who've worked so hard to create unforgettable experiences for you today and all throughout the year. Let's give the senior class officers a round of applause. And now, a very warm welcome to the 171st commencement of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Welcome as well to Camp Randall Stadium, where fans have been cheering for the Badgers for 107 years. In case you're curious, the very first game in Camp Randall was a shutout. We clobbered Minnesota. Just the way it's supposed to be, right? Family and friends, we feel your love and pride today, and we have so much to celebrate. Please join me in another big congratulations for the amazing class of 2024. Now, graduates, you walked through these gates today as students. When you walk through them again, it will be as alumni of one of the greatest universities of the world. Let's show some love for the family and friends who helped get you here. Now, I also want to acknowledge that for many members of this class, this is also a hard day. For some of you, there are classmates, friends, and family members who were with you at the start of the journey, but who cannot be here today. And we remember them all. And for many in our campus community, there is also pain and grief over the devastating destruction, injustice, and loss of life in Gaza and in Israel. And some of you have had to navigate this final year of your degree amid anguishing worry about friends and relatives. Please know that you're not alone in this difficult, very difficult time. Now today, we confer 7,868 degrees. 7,868 degrees. That makes this one of the larger commencements in our 175-year history. Now, 238 of you have earned law degrees. Where are our law grads? Make some noise. Congratulations. 1,382 of you have earned master's degrees. Where are our master's grads? Awesome. Congratulations. And 6,236 of you are earning bachelor's degrees. Make some noise. In just a few minutes, we have an amazing keynote speaker for you today. UW alumna, Badger sports legend, 3-time Olympic medalist Megan Duggan, who's here with her wife. Her wife is also an Olympic gold medalist, and they've got 3 children. Welcome home to Madison, Megan. Now, every UW-Madison commencement is special, but this one is even a step more special because we're also celebrating the 175th anniversary of our founding. It's our demi-semi-septicentennial, and I dare you to say that 3 times fast. Our university was created in 1848, the same year that Wisconsin became a state, and the first students arrived here in 1849. Our first commencement was 4 years later in 1853. At that commencement, there were 6 speeches and just 2 graduates. a 3-to-1 ratio. And one of those speeches was in Latin. And so we thought, as part of our anniversary celebration, we're going to follow that tradition. 24,000 speeches this afternoon, that sounds good, right? All right, no, we're not going to do that. The truth is, we've got better commencement traditions now, including this one. If you are part of the first generation in your family to earn a college degree, please stand as you are able and make some noise. That is beautiful. Congratulations. Now this one is for our graduates as well as the family and friends and loved ones in the stands. If you are a United States veteran or serving on active duty or in the reserves, whether you're graduating or in the stands, please stand as you are able so we can thank you for your service. Now, class of 2024, you came here 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, or 3 years ago from all over Wisconsin, or maybe 1 or 2 years ago if you're getting a master's degree. You came from all over Wisconsin, around the United States, and all around the world. You arrived on this campus with very different backgrounds and identities and beliefs, and you found common ground around your shared identity as Badgers. Among you are national debate champions, winners of major national scholarships, national championship athletes, and students who are forever grateful to have made it through some of the most challenging courses anywhere. Comp Sci 577, anyone? Or Physics 335? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You're driven to succeed academically, and you're also engaged, deeply engaged, in solving problems out in the world, in our proud Wisconsin idea tradition. That's how the class of 2024 helped to make UW-Madison, for the first time in several years, the #1 university in the nation for Peace Corps volunteers. Now, class of 2024, you are without a doubt graduating during tumultuous times on campuses, in our nation, and across the globe. It can sometimes feel hard to know how to move forward in a messy and complicated world. But here's one piece of advice. If you feel stuck or like you don't have any answers, sometimes you should try changing the question. Because sometimes asking a different question can open brand new possibilities. And class of 2024, I think this is something that you've already shown talent for. You've shown that you're good at changing the question, at asking something new that invites us to explore possibilities we might never have thought of. A great many of you began your time here during COVID, and you missed out on things before you arrived and at the beginning. Things like senior prom or a traditional high school graduation. But just this spring, as you looked forward, instead of dwelling on what you didn't have, you asked, is it too late to have that senior prom we missed 4 years ago? And together, you and we answered with a resounding no, it's not. And nearly 1,000 of you attended our first, and perhaps first of many, Madison senior proms with some twists. And I hear it was quite a celebration. This isn't the very first year that our students have asked, why doesn't the university have a curling team? But this year, a freshman changed the question. He asked instead, who will help me start a curling team? And members of this class stepped up, and in their very first season, the new team won a national championship. On a more serious note, at a time of great political and social upheaval, members of your class looked for new ways to bring people with different beliefs together, to talk and to listen, respectfully, and thoughtfully. Chandra Chauhan asked how our Indian and Pakistani student organizations had never collaborated on a joint event. And the result was our first ever interfaith iftar. There's a video, I think, up on that screen. So thank you, Chandra. In a very different arena, Rosalie Powell asked how we might bring environmentalists and landowners together to work toward a more sustainable planet. She met with people from very different perspectives, but with a shared belief in the importance of conservation, and together laid the groundwork for some important changes to help protect our precious water and soil. Thank you, Rosalie. Now, the questions that you've asked have also helped define your studies here. Evan Woodbridge is one of our Posse scholars. He helped to ask a different question about how a certain kind of beetle that destroys thousands of acres of potato and tomato crop is staying one step ahead of us. Together with our faculty, he used RNA testing to move us closer to the day where we'll be able to outsmart this pest rather than just outspraying it. Evan, where are you? Congratulations. Nick Lawton, Canyon Pergandi, and Drew Levin asked a different kind of questions. They saw classmates frustrated as they were searching for jobs and local businesses frustrated in their search for employees, and asked how could we create a platform to help these people find each other? And so they did. It's called SideShift. Nick, Canyon, and Drew, where are you? Congratulations. Now, you and I can't know exactly today what questions each of you will ask in your lives and in your futures, but I can tell you this. The questions that challenge what we are certain we already know are often the ones that drive extraordinary innovation. They're the questions that have propelled us forward for 175 years to produce 26 Pulitzer Prize winners, 20 Nobel laureates, the scholars who organized the National Park System, created weather satellite technology, discovered vitamin D, and isolated stem cells for the first time, to tackle some of the most complex social issues facing our world, to set standard for excellence in the arts, and to harness the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to help people live better. That's what comes from asking great questions. And so as you embark on your next adventure, hold fast to this simple mantra. Tell less, ask more, and when you can't find an answer that satisfies, don't hesitate to ask a new and different question. I opened by sharing a story about our very first graduates back in 1853. And they were, as you might have guessed, both of them, white men. It was 16 years later, we had our very first women graduates. And we've been working to increase diversity ever since. And in honor of our 175th, I want to close with a passage from a letter that one of those first women graduates wrote to her grandparents shortly before her graduation. Her name was Clara Bewick, and she went on to become a nationally known journalist and women's rights activist. And she wrote this: "How strange it is that the years fly so quickly by. The close of each year brings us to a stopping place where just for a moment we may tarry and glance back over the road we have passed, a milestone measuring off the past from the future, before we turn to a new leaf as yet clean and bright, and begin to run with patience the race set before us." Class of 2024, as you turn this new leaf, I hope and I know you will keep your sense of curiosity and purpose, your commitment to making our world a better place, and your courage to keep asking questions, even ones that no one else may be asking. Keep being there for one another. I certainly hope you'll also come back and visit us and tell us how you are doing. Congratulations to the great class of 2024, and on Wisconsin.